this is just a little PSA for the girlies. If you have friends that get upset or intimidated by you when you don't tell them every single thing that's going on in your life, these are not your friends. These people are called secret haters, and they're in a one-sided competition with you at all times. And the reason why they get so upset when you keep things private and they don't know every little thing about you is because it's harder for them to figure you out, one. And two, they don't have the tools to one-up you in their one-sided competition. So this is just a reminder to beware of people like this, because there are so many out there. Evil eye is so real, so keep things to yourself. Set some boundaries.
If your friends don't like your story, respond to your stories, comment on your Instagram post, comment on your TikToks, then they are not your true friends, and they're probably low-key jealous of you, because I cannot see a picture of my friend or even just like a girl that I like without at least liking the picture or responding.
You know, one thing that is like really discouraging is finding out your friend really don't like you. Like they really hated you and don't fool with you. That is one thing that's kind of heartbreaking, especially when you realize like there are not a lot of genuine people in this world. And when I say genuine, I'm talking like people who are willing to support you, celebrate you, show up for you. One thing that you will notice is over time, there will be more people wanting to hear about your failures than your successes. And they will be sitting there with popcorn ready to go, oh my God, what happened next? But as soon as you have something to be celebrated, ain't nobody to talk to. And that is a lonely feeling. And this isn't one of those, oh my gosh, everybody's jealous of me. No, you can leave whatever hateful comments you want in the comment section about that. However, you would be crazy to think that this isn't a real issue. And I'm not saying that this is women, because I know hatred and jealousy have no gender. I know that men deal with it too, but it sucks. It sucks to find out that there are not a lot of genuine people. And when you do find someone that's genuine, tell them, love them, celebrate them, okay?
I swear, if there's one thing I will never understand, it's when you have a best friend that just randomly starts to hate you. This is the most confusing thing I've ever experienced. Because usually it's someone you're like insanely close with, but then they just start getting weird and like low-key trying to sabotage you. If you ever experience this, don't beat yourself up being like, I wonder what I did wrong. Because I did that for years. Most of the time people switch up on you like this, it's because they're insecure or jealous or both. Which is really strange to me, because if I look up to someone, I like want to be closer to them. I want to be their friend. But some people, if they feel like you're a threat to them, they will just start hating you. And it is not your fault.
It's so embarrassing when you loudly love people, but they silently dislike you. Because it's like, what are we doing? If you don't like me, just say that. There's no reason for you to be pretending to be my friend, be all kiki and whatever with me. It's honestly embarrassing. Especially on my part, when I'm the one that's just like, I love these people, oh my goodness. And everybody else is like, oh girl, who's gonna tell her? That one, they either talk shit about you or it's always something. It's always something. And you know what I've learned? You don't need all those friends. I'd rather have one real friend than 5 fake ones. I'm sorry. But anyways, it is what it is. I guess it's another life lesson.
Story time on how I found out my best friend of 5 years, my baby's godmother, actually hated me our entire 5 years of being friends. And yesterday, she confessed to me after 5 years she never liked me. She hated my guts the entire time. And why you should vet your friendships just the same way that you vet your relationships. Me and this girl was friends since 2020 during the pandemic, like early 2020. We met on social media. I think it was even 2019. We hit it off real well. We had the same interests, I'll just say that. We didn't officially meet up in person until I moved to Atlanta in 2021, because she lives in South Carolina and I was in New Jersey, New York. So obviously coming to South Carolina was not in the plans. We building a friendship. We're getting real close. I get married in 2021. She was already married for 2 years when we met. So our husbands met. They got super close. We had this whole like family group chat. We all close and da, right? We are like peas in the pod, all of us. I say peas in the pod, I mean families meeting each other, hanging out at each other's houses. We even felt comfortable when we found out we were pregnant in 2022 that they were going to be our new baby's godmother and godfather. So this all is catching me by surprise. Had to give you a little backstory. Yesterday, I get a call, ring, 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 ring. Catches me off guard, completely off guard. Homegirl says, hey, I have something to tell you. I've been feeling this way for so long. But mind you, as of recently, I've been telling my husband, I feel like something is off between me and her. Like, you know when you have that feeling, ladies? Like, you know when you know. You have a feeling something is off. But everything kept flying over my head. So she asked, can she call me? We get on the phone. And she's like, all right, I got something to tell you. For the past 4 or 5 years, I've never liked you. I've always been jealous of you. I've always hated you. You can predict. My mouth was like, What? I literally kept saying, what? 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 What are you talking about? We were just planning to see each other next month. All of us, our families getting together and having a good time for the holidays. And this is how you were feeling the entire time? But that's not even the half of what she had to say. She goes on to say that she was always praying against the things that I was praying for. So when I was telling her that my husband and I were praying for a baby, and this was 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, when I was telling her these things, she said that she was praying and hoping that we wouldn't conceive. She was praying and believing that when we were pregnant, the baby wouldn't be born. When I was pregnant around like 26, 27 weeks, you know, when you get tests for gestational diabetes, I was actually diagnosed with gestational diabetes. I had to retake the test. So, you know, you call your friend, you tell your friend, whatever, like, hey, like, pray for me and all these things. Girl said that she was praying that the opposite would happen of what we wanted, which is, of course, for the gestational diabetes to be removed so that I can have a healthy pregnancy. If you know anything about gestational diabetes in itself, you know that that's nothing to play with when you are pregnant at all. So the fact that she found that fun and joyful, and I still called her best friend, and she knew that this baby was going to be her godchild, and she felt comfortable feeling that way, blows my mind. So anyways, the whole time we were on the phone, I'm just listening. I'm just quiet because I'm trying to like take in everything that she's saying, because I actually can't believe that these things were going over my head. One time while I was pregnant, it was November of 2022, and I was due March 2023. I came to her because I had a feeling like something was off. And again, like when you feel something is off, you really need to take heed and pray about whatever it is that you feel is off of your spirit. So I said something was off. I addressed it with her, and we agreed that we both can do better as friends. I should have took that as a sign right then and there to dead this friendship. But she assured me that what I was feeling off was not the case. She was genuinely there to be my friend. The same time I felt this way was the same time I had the gestational diabetes, and she felt a way about me being pregnant, I suppose. She continued on to say that she's always felt competition between us. Whenever I started my photography business, she felt competition in there. Whenever she seen that we were essentially making money moves, I'll just say it like that, she felt some sort of way about that. So last year, December, November, I don't know if you've seen on my TikTok page, if you scroll down, I shared that we were facing eviction, right? She knew about that, and her husband knew about that because we were all close. We were like family. So like we're going to the people that we're the most closest to pray for us and to cover us, that of course that we don't end up on the street with a 9-month-old. This girl prayed that we would not have a home to live in. She prayed, she said this out of her own mouth. She was just hoping that we would end up homeless with the 9-month-old that is her godchild, and then still had the audacity to open up her home for us to live there, even though she was feeling these things. She said that it made her feel like they were doing better than us. This is a best friend, somebody that you're confiding in. I was almost like dishing information for her to pray against on me. Better for me wasn't the fact that she didn't like me this whole entire time. Is that I gave her access to my child, the one that I had prayed for to be here, and I entrusted her to come into agreement with me for this baby. But she had a whole separate agenda this entire time of canceling his life, and I entrusted her to be his godparent. I'm gonna leave it here because she says way more. If you want to hear part 2, then let me know in the comments. But I'm gonna just leave one thing for you ladies. Vet your friendships the same way that you are going to vet your relationships. The same way that you're going to pray and seek God about if this is the person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. You need to be praying and asking God, is this a friendship I need to be pouring myself out into? You need to pray and ask God for discernment when we're sharing things with friends. That is women. Sometimes we just want to get all close because we like the same things. We like content creation. We all just gonna be friends. We like photography. We just all gonna be friends. And no, like ask God, what is the kingdom purpose here for our friendship? Is this somebody I'm gonna do life with? Is this somebody I should share my deepest, darkest secrets with? Is this somebody that I can trust with my entire life? Is this somebody I could bring around family? The list goes on. You need to vet your friendships the same exact way that you're going to be vetting your relationships. And that's one thing that I took away from this. And these things for sure would never happen again. Well, all in all, girl, I'm just excited that God has removed the one thing that I knew was a hindrance in my life. And now I can just move forward with what God has for me in this season. But overall, I just feel like this is all crazy. This is like a movie. I can't believe it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.